Welcome to another show, an inside job, war on addiction. This is going to be 27. I'm really happy about that. And I'm just trying to get the word out in this thing because it's just overwhelming. 91 people a day dying. So again, I thank LATV, Kyle, Jack, Janie, Alan, Bradley. I'm your host, Ron. I just want to give a quote from Dr. Gabor Mate, who works with addicts up in Vancouver, Canada, downtown East Side, and he has a book, Realm of the Hungry Ghost. He explains addiction as biological, chemical, neurological, physiological, medical, social, emotional, political, economical, and spiritual. We were just discussing in between shows, and Jack said there's one common denominator, and there are, I believe, many. The common denominator is that we had a rough childhood in some manner, and some really bad experiences growing up, as well as you, that you've explained.
Yeah.
So, you know, we in society have a lot to do with that. How we've evolved to this point where we are with, you know, poverty, the whole thing, but addicts dying, 91 a day. So, again, welcome, Mark.
Thank you.
And I asked the basic questions that I do, and we thought we'd have enough to talk about for another show, half-hour show. We keep it in a half-hour segment. So, let's take it. You said you'd take a lot of some of the lead on this thing. We want to talk about your kids.
Yeah.
We want to talk about you, the benefits of being clean and sober. What do you want to talk about first?
I just want to say, like, these are the type of things that I need to do, like, to keep my recovery up front, is to give back to the society. Like Jack said about, you know, the upbringing. Like, my children are being brought up right now.
Explain how many kids.
Well, I have two blood daughters, 16 and 10, and I have two sons. They're not my blood sons, but I consider them my sons,
Yeah.
as well as they consider me like a father.
Right.
And they're 23 and 20. My 23-year-old has a grandson. I have a grandson. He has a son.
You're a grandfather?
Yeah, he's 1.5.
Right, 40 years
Yeah.
old.
And
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. But go ahead.
So I need to be there for my kids. You know, I need to be there. Like, I'm still available to be there. You know, like, I haven't expired yet. I haven't gone to the grave, nor do I want to. So I need to do things like this to make sure that I'm able to be there for my kids. You know, just because they're being brought up right now in a home with another male figure doesn't mean that I can't be their dad. You know.
For sure.
For
sure.
I need to be able to, like I said, the blood children are mine, and I need to be able to walk them down the aisle when it's time for them to get married, you know? And I just need to be more of a role model, you know? My stepson, you know, the 23-year-old, he has a substance abuse problem as well. And I was really glad that I was able to be available when his mother called me and told me something had happened to him. You know, I was at a basketball game in Oxford, and I got a phone call from her saying that he was in a hospital and that he overdosed, and no one even really knew that he was doing anything. You know, and going into the hospital and seeing this kid like laying on a bed made me feel like somewhat responsible for like what had happened to him. You know, because like I kind of feel like we were talking about the upbringing. You know, like my upbringing maybe it caused some of my addiction. You know, and I just need to be there for him, and I was there for him to like show him what to do and how he could make his life a little bit better. And he seems to be doing really well right now. You know, he had gotten DCF involved with his life, wasn't able to see his kid, and it hurt him a lot. And I seen that it was hurting him a lot. you know, and he's seen what I went through having to like walk out of the relationship, and I know he doesn't want that, and I hope he got it at such a young age as I wish I would have, you know.
Are you in touch?
With him?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked often.
Okay.
You know, I talked to both of them.
Where is he, the one with the
baby?
substance? No, with the substance abuse.
He's home again. He's back in Webster with his.
He has a kid?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's where the grandson comes
Oh,
from.
yeah. Yeah.
And,
I'm not talking about you right now, and I've said it before on this program, and I'm talking about my son and others that have, through the many years, and it was so hard to accept that if somebody doesn't want it, they're not going to get it, no matter what. If it's pushed down your throat, if you're not ready, if all the things.
I agree.
And it's heart-wrenching. It's heart-wrenching. How's he doing now?
He's doing really well. You know, he ended up enrolling in an IOP program at AdCare Hospital.
What is that?
It's an intensive outpatient where you do
Okay.
like 3-hour groups, 3 to 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
You know, some people say it doesn't work, but if you're there, like you said, for yourself, it's gonna work. You know.
Yeah.
Because I've done IOP and it didn't work for me. You know, some people go there and use it as a place to meet new connections to get stuff, and some people go there and take it serious, just
Right.
like every place. You know, you find that same stuff in meetings as well. You know. So what I'm doing today, like to maintain what I have right now, is I like to go to a place. I go to the same place every day at noontime. It's called Everyday Miracle. Everyday Miracles is located on Pleasant Street in Worcester, and it's not a 12-step program. It's a recovery center for the community, and what they do is they offer like different activities throughout the day for active and addicts who have the desire to stay clean.
Yeah.
You know, you can go in there, you can eat, you can play cards.
Nice.
You know, they have like drawing, they have all different
Nice.
activities that you do, and I like going there because they don't. What they say is your pathway to recover. Your recovery is your recovery. You know, and like I'm on MAT and certain fellowships.
Explain, please.
MAT is medical assisted treatment.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's methadone,
Methadone,
Suboxone,
yeah.
naltrexone, which is known as
I don't know that
the
one.
Vivitrol shot.
Oh, the
That's what's in the
Vivitrol, yeah.
Vivitrol shot. And you know, certain fellowships don't allow you to like do step work while you're on MAT, while you're on Suboxone or methadone. So that type of thing just like veers me off to like want to be at Everyday Miracles, because over there they don't discriminate on anything you do or how you do it. You know, I don't have any problem with how anyone else views their points on MAT. Everyone has their own opinions, you know, but my opinion is like, if methadone, a small dose of methadone is gonna keep me clean and not overdosing anymore, so I can be alive to like see my children walk down an aisle, then I'm gonna stay doing it.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
helped me. You know, I haven't overdosed in 8 months, and nor do I want to. You know, I didn't start using heroin until 37 years old, and like I said, I'm 39. I've already overdosed 3 times, and like I don't want that to happen anymore.
And you were saying about Narcan, about what's happening now. Please explain.
Yeah, the chemicals that they're putting now in the heroin.
Fentanyl.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's mostly fentanyl, and now it's not even just fentanyl. It's something called carfentanil.
Yeah.
Which there's the Narcan, by the time EMS shows up and administers the Narcan, there's no active response. Like people are not coming back to life. People are not overdosing anymore. They're just dying.
And they would try 2 or 3 times, maybe.
Up to 7 or 8 times.
Whoa.
And people are just not coming back. You know, I had to attend a funeral last week from a girl I went to my semi-formal with in high school, who was just at a recovery house for women, and she was discharged, and a couple of days later she passed away from an overdose. So it happens just like that, and that's where a lot of it comes from. Is people stay clean for a little while, and then they go back to the street, and they think they can do the same thing they did the last time they did it, and their tolerance isn't high, and they're not able to
Yeah.
handle it. Their body can't handle it.
I had to remove myself from any of my friends, the dealer. I had to just get away and leave everything, and it worked for me.
Unfortunately, I've tried that. I've tried changing my number. I've tried erasing all the phone numbers out of my phone. But unfortunately, I'm an addict, and I know where to go.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to any bus station in any city, you can get anything you want, and that's just the reality of it. Yeah. Because I've lived in Worcester and I've lived in Boston, and both places, I've seen you be able to just go in there and you notice people. Like one addict can notice another addict.
Yeah.
You know.
But you didn't notice your son, or you weren't around?
See, we did notice that he was like drinking and stuff. We didn't know the extent of what he was doing.
Yeah.
You know, like he had been drinking since school, and we didn't really think that he would ever turn to that. You know, nor did anyone probably think that I would, because I told myself that I would never do heroin.
Yeah.
However, I did. You know, it took me a long time to do it once, but once I did it, I loved the feeling of what it did for me and how much cheaper it was than prescription pain meds, and I started doing it. And the day I experienced my first overdose was 2 years ago. I had been getting the heroin from the same person for a few weeks, and he didn't have any. And I went to another house, and I would be doing it alone. I would always do it alone. And I went to a house, and actually I'd called somebody and asked him if he could get me something. He sent me to a house. So I went into the house, I got it, and a gentleman that was there asked me if I could give him a ride. And at the time I was using my company van, and I agreed to give. At first I declined to give him a ride because I didn't want anyone to see me do it, and I knew I had to do it because I wasn't feeling well. And I agreed to give him a ride, and like, thank God I gave him a ride that day, because I ended up pulling over on the side of the road doing it, putting the van in drive, driving like 30 feet down the road, and then overdosing at the wheel of my work van. And he was with me, and luckily he had Narcan with him, and he Narcaned me back to life. And that was my first overdose. And I told myself I would never do it again after that, and here I am 2 years later, and
Right.
still have a short amount of clean time, you know?
May I ask how long his son has put together? Excuse me.
I'm not really sure total. I mean, it's been a couple months since that happened. It was before Thanksgiving,
Okay.
so he's doing well.
And he's going to aftercare.
He goes to meetings too.
Yeah. What's he like?
I think he does the AA fellowship, because in
Yeah.
Webster, where he lives, there's more AA meetings than
Yeah.
NA.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
So
What now? What are we going to talk about?
I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, so I can be there for my family, my daughters. Like, so many times I've tried to do this. Like, I am doing this for myself right now. You know, I have to do it for myself. Like you said,
Right.
You can't force it on anyone. Because so many times I've tried to get clean for their mother. I've done all right, but I was just running on self-will. I wasn't doing any type of program. I actually finally got a new sponsor. I started working my step work. I'm going to be meeting with him on Saturday to go over my first step. I need to start making a lot of amends when it comes to that step. I hurt a lot of people. I really hurt a lot of people when I was out there. I know there's certain people I don't need to make amends to. Like, I don't need to make amends to everyone I've hurt or anyone that's hurt me. But I just need to do like the important ones, you know? And I need to lose a lot of my resentments I have. Like, I have a huge resentment for my real mother, which is hard. It's a hard thing to let go, you know, especially she's not around for me like to make a formal amends with. So
Right.
I'm not going to be able to do it that way.
You would want to make amends to her, your real mother?
Well, I would at least want an explanation, you know?
Okay. So you said resentment more than...
No, I'm saying I have a resentment towards her.
Right.
I need to let that go, and it's hard for
Right.
me to let that go.
Yeah,
You know?
most definitely.
A conversation with her would be the best way to let a resentment go. However, I'll never be able to have a conversation with her because she's not around, you know?
And of course, she was in prison, but for addiction.
She's done a long time. She did most of her adult life in prison, yeah.
Yeah, for drugs.
Yeah, she's done, I think it was right around 15 years total she's done in prison, yeah. Between Florida and California.
95% of the population behind bars in some form relapse, come back in, recidivism. I said that wrong. But we just, we're doing some things wrong. And like I said, there is no focus. There, you know, everybody's busy. I don't know, things just have to change. And that's it, an inside job. We have to change it. But somehow we have to let the people know that, and there's a lot of us. There's a lot of us, millions in the United States.
They do actually have a new program out in Worcester now. I think they're actually doing it in a lot of surrounding towns now too. I was speaking to a friend of mine. Her name is Rebecca Zwicker. She works for the Worcester Drug Court. And,
Yeah.
And she does. She's a recovery coach. She drives around and tries to like help active addicts get into programs.
Yeah.
Help them get placement. And now they're like, a lot of police officers aren't even arresting people for
Right.
like a simple possession charge. They're actually offering them to go into a program. And that's like what her job is to help the police work with the addict to
Right.
get them into a program.
Right.
Because like the
But
jails
how
are so full
about the
of...
beds? You
Right.
know, how about the beds? Are they there?
No, they're not there. There's not enough.
No.
There's not
Where are you
enough
going to
bedding.
put them?
Yeah, there's not enough.
Where are
Yeah.
you going to put them? That's the focus that I'm talking about. You know, let's say you, no bed, no bed. You're calling every day, no bed, no bed. What's going to happen?
Gonna use again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt about it. So
That's the reality.
why aren't there the beds?
Actually, we just did a group at my house the other day. Some people came in from the U program asking us questions.
Oh, I want you to explain that.
Yeah, asking
too.
us questions on what's working, what's not working, and what will help. You know, like what's working
Right.
for the recovery. And, you know, that's like what we explained is placement. Placement is a huge thing in the state. Is there's not enough beds for the
Right.
amount of addicts there is. There needs to be more facilities and more funding for places
Right.
like that for people to go.
Right. Right.
So many rules and regulations are changing now for the addiction. It's
Yeah.
just hard to keep up with.
Yeah. I may have met Rebecca because I was very interested in drug court. You want to say a little something about drug court?
Yeah, drug court is when you go to court on a drug-related offense, they'll offer you a chance to remain in drug court, which means you go every week. You do a urinalysis.
Yeah.
You speak to the judge about what you're doing for your recovery. You know, he doesn't wear a robe. He just stands right down with you like a regular
What's his name
person.
again? I forget.
That's Judge Madaus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've met him. And
He's a super nice guy.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. They actually started one in the Dudley Court too, as well. There's
Where
one in
is
the Dudley
that?
Court in Dudley, Mass.
Dudley, I
have
heard
one there
about
as
that
well, yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're popping up
Yeah.
through the country.
Yeah.
Did we talk about? Yeah, we talked about the youth thing
The detox.
for kids.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
spoke
we
about
talked
that,
about that. There's also a high school in Worcester, isn't there?
Recovery High. Yeah, they have. I know. I never. The first time I heard of that was when I was working at that place. I never heard of it. It's a recovery high school.
Where is it?
I'm not really sure. I'm not
All
really sure.
addiction.
All kids with addiction problems. Yeah.
I want
That's a
to
full school, too.
find out
Yeah.
because that's well, I talk about getting to at least understand at
Right.
that age,
Yeah.
you know, and what were we like at that age? Ripping, running.
Fortunately enough for me, I wasn't. My drug use didn't start until I was 18 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
I didn't, like when I hear some kids saying that they used heroin for their first time at 12 years old, I can't even believe it. Like
Yeah.
I just picture my daughter and thinking about her, and I could never picture that. Like I
No.
could never picture being that young and using,
no.
you know?
Let's see, like I said, it's 35 years with my son, and we tried everything. We tried everything in the house, at a detox, at a program.
Yeah.
Just
Same with me. I've tried everything. Nothing's kept me clean. I've been to jail. I've done the Suboxone. I've done it for her. Like nothing has kept me clean for a long period of time.
talk about behind bars a little, if you'd like. First time was.
First time was 18 years old. I was in there on a possession with intent charge for marijuana.
Yeah.
It wasn't a long stay. I was there somewhere around almost 6 months. I was in there that time. Back then in '97, it was a very easy place to be. It
Yeah.
was not bad. You were out of your cell all day long. But today, in the Worcester House of Correction, it's way worse. You know, you're locked in your cell all day long like a caged animal. So when you come out of your cell, everyone's fighting. They do have a program in there now for narcotics, for substance abuse. They have what's called the STOP program. And they actually, if you get into that program, like they try to put people there with like less than 6 months so that they'll be getting out. And usually they release you with the Vivitrol shot. They'll give you your first shot before you walk out the door.
And it's covered by Mass Health.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's expensive.
Yeah,
It's
it is expensive, yeah.
But it works. I hear really good things about it. How about you? You hear good things about it?
Yeah, I've heard really good things about Vivitrol. That's actually my plan when I'm all done with my methadone.
Yeah.
Is to stay I'm going to stay on the Vivitrol for around 6 months.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just to.
I wanted to say it before, but Chanel, who's done 5 of these,
Oh, I know Chanel.
you know Chanel?
Yeah.
Yeah, she does go down to Worcester.
Is
to
it
meetings.
is it the short girl?
No.
She has her ears.
No.
Oh, all right.
No. But she's been hanging in Worcester, I guess. But she had 14 months put together. And she came on the show at the 14 months. And this has to do with methadone.
Yeah.
She wants to do it her way. A year, she wanted to get off the methadone, but her way. Don't. And when she was coming to the first one, she said she was so sick trying to come off that thing. She says it's worse than coming off of heroin.
Yeah.
I do not know. And so then she did go out. She came back 3 weeks later or something of where she was then, what she lost, and it was everything.
Yeah.
Place to live, money, job, everything. She lost it all. And luckily somebody took her in. Then 3 months later, I think she was on 5 times.
Yeah.
Anyway, but again with the methadone,
Yeah.
You have to do it the right way.
Right, yeah.
But we don't want to listen.
No, we don't.
Trying, failing. But what are the reasons,
Right.
Yeah, so. You were a case manager at some places?
No, the only place I was direct care at the house I live in now, and I was supervisor at the shelter.
Yeah.
And
What was that like?
we already spoke about that earlier. It was just a really tough place. It's a tough environment to be in because
Yeah.
everybody's actively using.
Yeah,
85% of the people in there are active.
Yeah.
Active users.
but I mean, for you dealing with these people, you said there could be up to 90 in there.
yeah, it wasn't easy in early sobriety. That's for sure. Being around people
I
that
don't
are under the
think,
influence. Yeah, it was very hard.
That's rough.
Yeah.
You must have ran into some jackpots in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A few overdoses, a few assaults.
Yeah.
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 Tough job.
Yeah. I didn't begin as case manager up in Gardner. I was sober a while, maybe 15 years or something. And even then, man, it almost took me over the edge, I'll tell you, because nobody wants to listen. They did
Right.
stay sober up there. You going back to work soon?
Yeah, in the next couple weeks, I'll be going back to work full time again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it's wise to go full-time back?
Yeah, I need to get back to work. I need to start
Right, but do you need to work that many hours?
to be able to save, to be able to get to where I want. I do
Yeah.
need to go back full time.
Yeah, but how about to stay sober and clean?
as long as I make sure that I do things different this time and continue to go to my meetings at night rather than say I went during the day and miss a meeting, then I'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
As long as I keep working on my recovery
Right.
like I started.
So that's part of your plan. What else is your plan as far as backing off? You make the money and then you back off on the meetings. What's going to keep you on the right track? You are in a house,
Yeah.
and that's great.
Yeah, I just need to remember, they always say to remember your last day out, and I have a hard time trying to remember my last day out there using, and I just need to really keep it in the front of my mind before I pick up, you know?
Yeah, and that's why I still go to meetings, is I hear it. I hear it's
Right.
you, coming back, going out, coming
Yeah.
back. It's a vicious cycle, and this was another thing they said, that the addiction rate, how do they say it? That it's changing our society to where I won't get it too much in my head. Nah, never. I'll have to struggle. But anyway, how long we live, all right? There's an average of what we live.
Right.
This thing is changing that. It's never been changed.
Right.
Maybe with the plague or something like that, but
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's never going to change. The drugs are just getting worse out there. And
I think it will change. It has to change.
I'm hoping.
Jack's here with the 3 minutes. We did the second show and it was good. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
that. Yeah, yeah. And I want to have you on again.
All right.
Down the line.
Yeah.
Down the line.
Definitely, yeah. Most
Yeah,
definitely.
good. You're a smart guy.
Thank you,
I can
appreciate
tell
it.
that.
I've been
Maybe
told.
too smart.
I've been told.
You've been
But
told that
that's
too.
the thing is I beat myself up a lot.
Who doesn't, man? Yeah. Where's the
That's
bat?
thing, right?
So that's another one in the can. And please, if you can, seeing this, get the word out. Get it on Facebook, get the word out. And so that's it. That's a wrap. Thank you.
This program is brought to you by Amico Flooring of Fitchburg, Mass. Amico Flooring. Let us floor you.